60 Minutes Overtime.
It's an island, it's an enchanting island. You know, a lot of people will say, hey, you know, who's your favorite author? Who's your favorite player? You know, what's your favorite band? You would often hear on Egg, what's your favorite view? I'm Dragan Mihailovich and I'm a producer at 60 Minutes. I think most people's favorite view, understandably, is the view above Lag Bay towards the island or the Isle of Rum. It does take your breath away. I personally had an affinity for late in the afternoon, there was a view towards Little Castle Island and then the mainland. Just the way the light hit Castle Island and the green, and then you'd have the blue of the sea. Of course, there's the top of the Score, which is the highest point on Egg. And I remember one time looking out and our cameraman, Massimo Mariani, was silhouetted against the Isle of Rum. And I thought, wow, this, and I took a picture. I mean, it was magnificent. Feels like you're on another planet. It's beautiful. This is part of a great tradition at 60 Minutes, which is sort of the adventure story, taking you somewhere that most people have never been and will never go.
Join CBS, you will see the world.
The way I enticed Steve Kroft, our correspondent, to do the story was I said, Scotland, beauty, characters, quirkiness, whiskey. That was about it. Our story about the Isle of Eigg is about this beautiful, magical island off the mainland, 7 miles off of Scotland, that's been run by the residents for the last 20 years after 200 years of being under the thumb of various lairds or landlords. We have all this equipment. We have like 30 cases of gear because when you set up an interview, 2-camera interview, you've got lights, tripods. So that was a problem. We were allowed one vehicle. So Lara Logan, the co-producer, and myself, we rented bikes. So in the morning, for instance, if I had to print out questions that Steve Kroft was going to use in an interview,
No, this is a killer. You're going to break your back.
camera team needed the one vehicle, so I'd hop on the bike, go to the one school with the 5 pupils, ask them nicely if they would download the questions and then print them out, and then I'd hop back on my bike and go to the interview location. So, you know, it was kind of funny when I filled out my expense report. Usually it's like, you know, car rental, gas, and I just put a bike rental and I had to explain that because, you know, it's pretty unusual at 60 Minutes. We brought the editor, Matt Lev, to Scotland to shoot some behind-the-scenes footage, and also because we only had one vehicle on the island, we were going to have to be traipsing about the island with heavy tripods, usually going uphill, oftentimes in soggy, windy weather. We needed an extra pair of hands. And so the first few nights, because we had a bigger crew than we normally would, we had to sort of double up at the B&B. So I volunteered to double up with Matt. I discovered at about midnight that Matt, in fact, is a snorer. But we also stayed in what are known as pods. There are like, I think 3 or 4 of them on the island. And they're just like little wooden shacks, almost sheds almost. You know, there's one board place where you can put down your sleeping bag. The one advantage to it is it's got spectacular views. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, and this is around the summer solstice, and you know, you look up north and the sun never really went away. The sheepdogs obviously herd the sheep, of which there are thousands to herd. They do belong to owners, but they have the run of the island. I was introduced to one sheepdog named Haddock.
Haddock. Sit.
So, you know, pet Haddock, and then we go to the other side of the island, and I thought, wow, there's Haddock again. They said, no, that's Hamish. That's Haddock's brother. Okay. So then we would go to another place, and I swear, there's Hamish or Haddock. Is this Hamish or Haddock? No. This is Bob. That's Hamish and Haddock's brother.
Come here, Bob. Bob.
Steve's definitely a dog person, and but I think he got confused often between Hamish, Haddock, and Bob.
Great dog you are.
Truth be told, Steve never slept in a pod, never got on a bike.
What's the difference between people who live on the mainland and people who live on Egg?
Well, the people on Egg, I'd have to say, are more evolved. The thing of this, you must pay a mortgage, you must be in the hamster wheel, pay all the bills, all that stuff. You get to a stage where you can break free of that.
Normally, with a correspondent, they're either looking forward to going home as good a time as they may have had on their shoot, or looking ahead to their next production. As we were getting ready to board the ferry to take us back to the mainland, Steve sort of turned to me and said, "Do we have to go?"